Hello everybody, welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Scott, joined by Rich.
Alright.
Hello. Now, we are some of the only couple of people who own Xbox Ones.
I do have an Xbox One.
It's true. Did you know, though, that Xbox has been listening into loads of stuff we've been saying? All the nice things and all the bad things, too.
Really?
Yeah.
I hardly play it. How is that possible?
Well, if you happen to have played it, the whole thing that came out thanks to a Vice report is that Microsoft hired a whole bunch of different contractors to go through all the audio recordings that are coming from the Kinect. This has been going on since around about 2013, 2014. Now they've had a whole audio division for many years, but obviously it came to the forefront when they announced the Xbox One because it was TV, it was voice control to control your TV and the console and everything. And you do sign off on this stuff when you agree to the terms and conditions. But the whole point of it is that it's supposed to only kick in and really record something when you say, "Hey Xbox" or "Hey Cortana" or whatever.
It's just Xbox.
Yeah, it's meant to be. That's when it's only when it's meant to be. And for the most part, I think that is still the case. But these contractors are remaining anonymous, but have come out and said that there are obviously millions of cases where they're just hearing people and hearing things that are going on. They said the majority of the time it's just children accidentally activating it. And they like give some little sort of random anecdotes about people saying, "Xbox, give me free games," or "Xbox,
Xbox, take me to this porn website, please."
Yes, and then I guess Siri then, but not Siri, the other one, Cortana, just freaks out and tries to find a way. But yeah, point being that they've been listening in, Rach.
For how long did you say?
Well, apparently this it came to the forefront in 2013 when the console launched, but they've had a big audio division for many years, so it's about 6-ish years. Apparently they're no longer doing this. But
good. That's good.
That was the thing. So yeah, but I mean, consider how much marketing data they got from this. It didn't really help the Xbox One that much.
I mean, I don't know how you could possibly sit and listen to all that and like get marketing.
Well, yeah, assumedly someone would be like, "This game's great," or like, "Oh, I love this bit."
Oh yeah, because when I'm thinking
I
definitely sit there and say it out loud. I'm playing heckin' Zoo Tycoon thinking, "Oh yes, I flippin' love all my zoo full of bears."
I love these penguins. To be fair, if they're listening in, all the expletives that I'm giving out when I'm playing really aggressive parts of Ori and the Blind Forest.
I feel really. Ori, that was one that had me screaming. I feel really sorry for those we peeping and creeping people who are listening to people playing FIFA.
Well, I mean, they apparently have this whole audio division, and at the very end of the Vice article, they revealed that they were told when they got hired, you probably shouldn't say this is for Microsoft. And it's not like it's a new thing in the entertainment industry or just in the tech industry, rather. Like, you have Apple and Google, like anything that has voice commands, it has to have that sort of open channel so that they can pick up on you at any given time. But it is that sort of conversation around like how much do we acknowledge that we're being listened to and then just hope that they chime in when we want them as opposed to it being an open thing.
Yeah, it sort of like opens a whole can of worms about like privacy and stuff. Like it is really cool and technology is amazing, and the fact that we can just have a thing on the iPhone just switched on that's constantly listening, so we can just go, "Hey Siri," and it's like, "Oh hello, I was listening, I was waiting, I was waiting for you to call on me." Similarly with the Xbox, like I mean, you can be sitting like just watching a movie and the movie ends and you can be like Xbox off, and the Xbox is just sitting there ready, like to hear that.
Well, see, though, do you quite like that stuff? Because I go back and forward on it.
I do. I think I'm more like I say, it's incredible and technology is coming a long way these days, but I think I'm more on the, that's a bit creepy, and I've just never really decided on like having it on. Like I always tend to have Siri turned off on my iPhone, and I never actually had my Kinect plugged in half the time on my Xbox. So.
I remember when it first came out, and like, because people do that whole thing with webcams where they put a bit of tape over the webcam, or with the Xbox.
Do you know what? I thought they were mad, but now I'm thinking,
this kind of just proves that a lot of the conspiracy theories were kind of right.
The amount of times I've come down in the morning, barely dressed, and how do we go on my PC? I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, you might be all over the websites now, so it's not what you want. But yeah, I guess it's like, it is a worthwhile thing to point out that we just, because I mean, in terms of like terms and conditions, people do just scroll through and click the button.
Oh yeah.
And with this sort of like advent of like vocally controlled, like, voice controlled stuff, we assume that their hearts are in the right place. And for the most part, they seem to be. But I think it's an interesting thing, especially going forward. Like, do you think that because of things like this, they'll keep it going for the next Xbox? Would it something that you'd want to have?
It's definitely, now that people are obviously being made aware of it, now that we're obviously telling you guys and making you aware of it, I think it's something that people are obviously gonna like protest against, like, because internet does that, don't they? We all do that, don't we?
A little bit.
So people are aware of it and they'll be sort of like cautious to it, I think. So developers can't really ignore all these fans who are saying, "We don't really want you listening to me chatting to my mum in the background or my girlfriend," you know?
I would be interested to see what their overall readout data is on the usability of it, because I haven't used voice controls on my PS4. I know that maybe people don't know, but the headset that you get with the PlayStation 4, just the basic 2 microphone, the headset version. I'd say it's like the little earphone
earpiece,
one. Yeah, that one. That you can do voice commands through that thing too, even though the actual receiver's quite muffled and whatever, but it does work. You can say, hey, PlayStation, and it'll listen and do stuff.
I didn't actually know that.
Yes, tips and tricks that life doesn't tell you.
They don't actually advertise that much, their voice control.
No.
They just want me to input text with the movement control for
Which
some
I do
reason.
like. I like that. I like the touchpad thing.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
It's okay, Rich. But the thing with the voice control stuff, because I finally got a PlayStation VR, and that has the camera sort of set up and everything, and that thing's always listening. And I've used it a couple of times to test it, like PlayStation launch Netflix or whatever. But for the most part, the other day when I was just playing something, I sort of like did that. I sort of coughed weirdly, and it started to listen, and I was like, I didn't even say hello or anything, and it's just right there listening in.
Oh, I don't like it.
I don't need this I don't need this PlayStation overseer.
It's definitely an opt-in, opt-out thing. I think what they should do in the future, and what they may well do in the future, is have the default to be opt-out and have people the option to opt-in. I feel like that's what they need to do. They kind of have a responsibility. And you know, because it's our privacy.
Yeah. What do you think about the ethics of getting sort of external contractors in? Because for me, that's the thing where it gets even weirder. Because if someone can be hired to do this stuff, where they can just get access to all these audio recordings.
I mean, these days, you sign up for a mobile contract, and suddenly you've got people from countries away, phoning you. It's like, how did you get my number? Everyone shares information, even though you tick the wee box that says, didn't give my email address away. They give it away anyway, and suddenly you've got people emailing you about.
Would you like to sign in on a new iTunes account? I had that last week where someone had randomly signed into my iTunes account, and I was like, stop buying albums that I don't like.
Literally, just knowing that Microsoft has already gotten someone external to deal with it, it makes you kind of wonder, who are you going to give it to?
And I think in terms of the generation that they've had as well, they have a lot to sort of pick from and learn from, and assuming the next Xbox will be this stronger thing. But I am curious about what their overall usability of, because they discontinued the Kinect. They ended up saying that they released a whole new version of the Kinect without it, and they sort of moved away from it, which is why it's kind of illuminating that they did continue all this audio research and audio work and stuff. But I guess going forward, do you see this being usable in any sort of way next gen, or hopefully they'll just kind of get rid of it and focus more on the games and be less creepy?
That's the tricky thing, because it is very cool.
Stuff?
It is very cool technology, but I really feel like voice commands are fine, but they should be it should be a button. It should be something that you have to physically do on purpose to activate. I don't think I feel good about it being just hey
no.
Xbox.
And you also you can't. I guess you could put something over the microphone.
You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to tape up your flipping microphone.
Yeah, we're forever sort of protecting ourselves against all these weird little receivers and cameras and audio things that are in the home.
I mean, PC players are fine with push to talk on a lot of voice comm software. So I feel like that's maybe what I'd be more comfortable with on consoles. I'm
curious if you guys let us know what you think down in the comments below. Do you use voice controls, and do you think that it's something that the next generation can benefit from, or is it just a little bit too weird and creepy? For now, though, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
And I have been Rachel. Thank you so much for watching.
I'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Does anyone know any songs then?
No.
Really?
Clearly knows Wonderwall.
Not all of it. How about we do a video channel instead? Yeah.
Yeah, right, cool.
List everyone?
List,
Cool,
list,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Woo!